The Magic Willow Tree. Chapter 1. Elise and the Enchanted Willow. Elise was a kind and adventurous young woman. She had no money, no home, and very little food. But she was always happy. She loved nature and believed good things would come. One day, Elise walked through the forest. She saw a very old man sitting by a tree. The old man looked tired and sad. Elise felt sorry for him. "Hello, sir," Elise said. "Are you okay? Do you need help?" The old man looked up and smiled. "Hello, young lady. I am fine, but I am very old and tired." Elise sat next to him. "My name is Elise. What is your name?" "My name is Jasper," the old man said. "I have something for you, Elise." Jasper took out a magical green cloak from his bag. "This is for you," he said. "It is a special cloak. It will help you find something wonderful." Elise's eyes grew wide. "Thank you, Jasper. What do I need to do?" "Put on the cloak and go to the enchanted willow tree," Jasper said. "It is deep in the forest. When you find it, you will see a hollow trunk. Climb down inside it." Elise felt excited and curious. "What will I find there?" Jasper smiled. "You will find 3 rooms. Each room has a special treasure. But be careful. The rooms are guarded by magical creatures." Elise nodded. She felt a little scared, but very brave. "I will do it." "Thank you, Jasper." Elise put on the green cloak. It felt warm and light. She waved goodbye to Jasper and started her journey into the forest. She walked for a long time, but she did not feel tired. The cloak made her feel strong. After a while, Elise found the enchanted willow tree. It was tall and beautiful, with long hanging branches. Elise felt happy and calm. She looked around and saw the hollow trunk. "Here it is," she whispered to herself. "I must climb down." Elise took a deep breath and climbed into the trunk. She felt excited and a little nervous. As she went down, she thought about Jasper. "I hope I can do this," she thought. "I want to make him proud." Finally, Elise reached the bottom. She saw a small door and opened it. Inside, there was a room with soft, glowing light. Elise felt a sense of wonder and happiness. She knew she was about to start an amazing adventure. Chapter 2. The Hollow Trunk and the Guardians. Elise stood in the first room. It was small and warm. There was a gentle light everywhere. In the middle of the room, Elise saw a box. A beautiful fox with eyes like emeralds sat on the box. The fox looked at Elise. "Hello, little fox," Elise said softly. "I am here to find the treasure." The fox blinked its big green eyes. It did not move or speak. Elise felt a bit scared, but she remembered Jasper's words. "Don't be afraid," she told herself. "The fox will not hurt you." Elise walked slowly to the box. She put the green cloak on the floor. Then she gently picked up the fox and placed it on the cloak. The fox did not resist. Elise opened the box and saw many old coins inside. She smiled with joy. "Wow, these are so beautiful," she whispered. Elise took some coins and put them in her pocket. She then put the fox back on the box and said, "Thank you, little fox." The fox blinked again, still silent. Elise left the room and found another door. She opened it and stepped into the second room. This room was bigger and had a brighter light. In the middle, she saw another box. This time, a wolf with eyes like sapphires sat on the box. The wolf looked at Elise. "Hello, Mr. Wolf," Elise said kindly. "I am here for the treasure." The wolf's blue eyes were calm and gentle. Elise took a deep breath. She put the green cloak on the floor again. She gently picked up the wolf and placed it on the cloak. The wolf stayed still. Elise opened the box and saw many precious gems inside. "Oh, these gems are wonderful," she said. Elise took some gems and put them in her other pocket. She then placed the wolf back on the box. "Thank you, Mr. Wolf," she said. The wolf watched her quietly. Elise moved to the third door. She opened it and entered the last room. This room was the biggest and had the brightest light. In the middle of the room was the largest box. A majestic lion with eyes like diamonds sat on the box. The lion looked at Elise. "Hello, mighty lion," Elise said bravely. "I am here to find the treasure." The lion's diamond eyes sparkled, but it did not move. Elise felt her heart beat faster, but she stayed calm. She put the green cloak on the floor one more time. She gently picked up the lion and placed it on the cloak. The lion stayed calm. Elise opened the box and saw many mystical artifacts inside. She felt amazed and happy. "These are incredible," she said softly. Elise took some artifacts and put them in her bag. She then placed the lion back on the box. "Thank you, mighty lion," she said. The lion's eyes sparkled as it watched her. Elise felt very happy. She had found the treasures and met the magical creatures. She knew she had to go back to Jasper and tell him about her adventure. With a smile on her face, she left the room and started to climb back up the hollow trunk. She felt proud and excited for what was next. Chapter 3. The Crystal Orb. Elise climbed up the hollow trunk with the treasures in her pockets. When she reached the top, she saw Jasper waiting for her. "Hello, Elise," Jasper said with a smile. "Did you find the treasures?" "Yes, I did," Elise replied, showing him the coins, gems, and artifacts. "Thank you so much for the cloak." "You did very well, Elise," Jasper said, "but I need one more thing from you." Elise looked at him with curiosity. "What do you need, Jasper?" "In the third room, there is a small crystal orb," Jasper explained. "It is very important to me. Can you bring it to me?" Elise remembered seeing the crystal orb on the floor next to the lion. She nodded. "Yes, I saw it. I will go back and get it for you." "Thank you, Elise," Jasper said. "But be careful. The orb is very special." Elise felt a little worried, but determined. She climbed back down the hollow trunk. When she reached the third room, she saw the lion with eyes like diamonds. The crystal orb was on the floor next to the lion. "Hello again, mighty lion," Elise said softly. "I need to take the crystal orb." The lion looked at Elise but did not move. Elise picked up the crystal orb and felt its smooth, cool surface. It glowed softly in her hand. "This must be very special," Elise thought. She felt a strange power from the orb. She quickly climbed back up the hollow trunk. When she reached the top, Jasper was still waiting. "Here is the crystal orb," Elise said, handing it to him. Jasper's eyes gleamed as he took the orb. "Thank you, Elise," he said. But suddenly his face changed. He looked angry and greedy. "Now give me all the treasures," Jasper demanded. Elise felt scared and confused. "But you only asked for the orb," she said. "I want everything," Jasper shouted, his voice harsh. Elise realized that Jasper was not kind or good. She stepped back, holding the treasures tightly. "No, I won't give them to you," she said firmly. Jasper's face twisted with anger. "You will regret this, Elise," he yelled. Elise felt a surge of courage. "I will find my own way," she said, turning away from Jasper. She ran into the forest, clutching the treasures close to her. As she ran, Elise felt scared but strong. "I won't let anyone take my treasures," she thought. "I will use them to make a better life." Chapter 4. Elises New Life. Elise walked through the forest with her treasures. She felt happy and free. She soon reached a small village. The people there were kind and friendly. Elise used some of her coins to buy a small house. It was cozy and had a lovely garden. She felt safe and comfortable in her new home. One day, Elise went to the village market. She heard people talking about a prince named Adrien. He was locked in a tower by his uncle, the regent. "Why is Prince Adrien locked in a tower?" Elise asked a woman at the market. "The regent is jealous and wants to be king," the woman said. "He is afraid the prince will take the throne." Elise felt sad for Prince Adrien. "That is not fair," she thought. "I wish I could help him." Elise returned home and looked at her crystal orb. She remembered its strange power. Maybe the orb can help, she thought. That night, Elise held the crystal orb and whispered, "Please bring Prince Adrien to my garden." The orb glowed brightly. Suddenly, the fox with eyes like emeralds appeared. It had Prince Adrien on its back. Elise was amazed. "Thank you, little fox," Elise said. The fox nodded and disappeared. Prince Adrien looked around, confused. "Where am I?" he asked. "You are in my garden," Elise said gently. "My name is Elise. I used the crystal orb to bring you here." Prince Adrien smiled. "Thank you, Elise. You saved me." Elise and Prince Adrien sat in the garden and talked. They felt happy and free. Elise showed him the flowers and the stars in the sky. "I have not seen the outside world for so long," Adrien said. "It is beautiful." Elise felt a connection with Adrien. "You are safe here," she said. "You can come to my garden whenever you want." Adrien smiled warmly. "Thank you, Elise. You are very kind." The next morning, the fox returned and took Prince Adrien back to the tower. Elise felt happy and hopeful. She knew she had made a new friend. Every night Elise called Prince Adrien to her garden with the crystal orb. They talked and laughed, enjoying their time together. Elise felt her heart grow warm. One day, Elise heard a knock on her door. She thought it was a villager with exciting news. "The regent is looking for Prince Adrien," the villager said. "He is very angry and is sending his men everywhere." Elise felt worried but determined. "I must be careful," she thought. "I will protect Prince Adrien." Elise knew she had to be brave. She held the crystal orb tightly and hoped for the best. She believed that together, she and Prince Adrien could find a way to be free. Chapter 5. Elise and Prince Adrien. One evening, Adrien sighed. "I have been locked in the tower for many years. My uncle, the regent, is afraid I will take the throne. He wants to be king." "That is so unfair," Elise said. "You should be free." "I wish I could be free," Adrien said, "but I don't know how to escape." Elise thought for a moment. "Maybe the crystal orb can help," she said. "It brought you here. Maybe it can help you escape forever." Adrien looked hopeful. "Do you think so?" "Yes," Elise said. "We can try together." Elise and Adrien made a plan. They decided to call the fox every night and talk about their ideas. They wanted to find a way for Adrien to be free and safe. One night, Elise whispered to the crystal orb again, "Please bring Prince Adrien to my garden." The orb glowed, and the fox appeared with Adrien. They sat in the garden and talked. "I have an idea," Adrien said. "Maybe we can find a safe place far away from the regent, a place where he cannot find me." Elise nodded. "That is a good idea. We can travel together and find a new home." Adrien smiled. "Thank you, Elise. You are a true friend." Elise felt her heart warm. She liked Adrien very much. "We will find a way," she said. "I promise." Every night, they met in the garden and talked about their plans. Elise felt more and more connected to Adrien. She knew they could find a way to be free and happy. One night, Adrien looked at Elise with a serious expression. "Elise, you have done so much for me. How can I ever thank you?" Elise smiled. "Your friendship is enough, Adrien. I am happy to help you." Adrien took Elise's hand. "You are very special to me, Elise. I feel safe and happy when I am with you." Elise felt her heart beat faster. "I feel the same way, Adrien. We are stronger together." As the sun started to rise, Adrien knew he had to go back to the tower. He looked at Elise and said, "I will think of you every day. You give me hope." Elise nodded. "And I will think of you, Adrien. We will find a way to be free." The fox took Adrien back to the tower. Elise watched them go and felt a mix of hope and worry. She knew they had a difficult journey ahead, but she believed in their friendship and their strength. Elise whispered to the Crystal Orb, "Please keep Adrien safe." She felt a warm glow from the orb and knew that together they could face any challenge. Chapter 6. Prince Adrien's Transformation. Elise woke up early the next morning. She thought about Prince Adrien and their plans. She felt hopeful. "I hope we can find a way to be free," she thought. That night, Elise called Adrien to her garden again. "Hello, Elise," Adrien said, smiling. "Hello, Adrien," Elise replied. "How are you feeling?" "I am feeling hopeful," Adrien said. "I believe we can find a way to be free." Elise nodded. "I believe that too." Meanwhile, in the tower, Adrien's uncle, the regent, grew suspicious. He noticed Adrien was happier and more hopeful. He ordered his spies to watch Adrien closely. "Something is different," the regent said. "We need to find out what is happening." One night, Adrien's servant, Leo, saw him disappear with the fox. Leo was curious and decided to follow them. He saw Adrien go to Elise's garden. "Elise is helping Adrien," Leo thought. "I must tell the regent." Leo ran back to the tower and told the regent what he saw. The regent was angry. "We must stop this," the regent said. "Adrien cannot leave the tower." The next night, Elise called Adrien to her garden again. They sat and talked about their plans. Suddenly, they heard a noise. "What was that?" Adrien asked, looking worried. "I don't know," Elise said. "We must be careful." The regent and his men arrived at Elise's garden. They saw Adrien and Elise together. The regent was furious. "There you are, Adrien," the regent shouted. "You will never leave the tower again." Adrien and Elise stood up quickly. Elise held the crystal orb tightly. "Please help us," Elise whispered to the orb. The orb glowed brightly, and the fox with emerald eyes, the wolf with sapphire eyes, and the lion with diamond eyes appeared. They stood protectively in front of Adrien and Elise. "Leave them alone," the fox said to the regent. The regent was scared. "What are these creatures?" he shouted. "They are my friends," Elise said bravely. "They will protect us." The wolf growled and the lion roared. The regent and his men were very afraid. "Let's get out of here," one of the men said. The regent's men ran away, and the regent followed. He knew he could not fight the magical creatures. Adrien looked at Elise with gratitude. "You saved us, Elise. Thank you." Elise smiled. "We are safe now, Adrien. We can continue our plan." The fox, wolf, and lion disappeared. Elise and Adrien sat back down in the garden. "I feel stronger with you," Adrien said. "Together, we can do anything." Elise felt her heart swell with happiness. "I feel the same way, Adrien. We will find a way to be free." They talked until the sun began to rise. Adrien knew he had to return to the tower. The fox took Adrien back to the tower. Elise watched them go. She knew that with their love and strength, they could overcome any obstacle. Chapter 7. Elises Capture and Redemption. The regent was plotting again. He spoke to his men. "We must capture Elise," the regent said. "Bring her to me." The next night, the regent's men followed Adrien to Elise's garden. They moved quietly and carefully. When they reached the garden, they hid and watched. Elise and Adrien were sitting and talking as usual. Suddenly, the regent's men jumped out and grabbed Elise. "Help!" Elise cried. "Let her go!" Adrien shouted, trying to free her. But the men were too strong. They took Elise away to the regent's palace. Adrien was very worried. I must save Elise, Adrien thought. At the palace, the regent spoke to Elise. You are helping Adrien escape, he said angrily. You will stay here in the dungeon. Elise felt scared but brave. I will not stop helping Adrien, she said. The regent locked Elise in a dark, cold dungeon. She felt alone and afraid, but she thought of Adrien. I must be strong, Elise thought. Adrien will find a way to save me. Back in the garden, Adrien held the crystal orb tightly. Please help me save Elise, he whispered. The orb glowed brightly, and the fox with emerald eyes, the wolf with sapphire eyes, and the lion with diamond eyes appeared. Elise is in the dungeon, Adrien said. We must save her. The fox nodded. We will help you, it said. Adrien, the fox, the wolf, and the lion went to the regent's palace. They moved quietly and carefully. When they reached the dungeon, Adrien saw Elise through the bars. Elise, I am here to save you, Adrien whispered. Adrien, Elise said, her eyes filled with hope. Be careful. The lion used its strong paws to break the bars. Elise ran out and hugged Adrien. Thank you, Elise said. You saved me. We must leave quickly, Adrien said. The regent will come soon. They ran out of the palace with the magical creatures. The regent saw them and shouted, Stop them! But the fox, wolf, and lion stood protectively in front of Adrien and Elise. The regent's men were too afraid to fight the magical creatures. Let's go, Adrien said, holding Elise's hand. They ran back to the garden and sat down, catching their breath. We are safe now, Adrien said, thanks to you and the magical creatures. Elise smiled. We must find a new place to be free, she said, a place where the regent cannot find us. Adrien nodded. We will find it together. The fox, wolf, and lion disappeared. Elise and Adrien sat in the garden, feeling hopeful and determined. Chapter 8. Resolution and Harmony. They traveled for many days. They walked through forests, crossed rivers, and climbed hills. The journey was long, but they felt strong together. One day, they reached a beautiful valley. The sun was shining, and the flowers were blooming. This is perfect, Elise said. It is like a dream. Yes, it is, Adrien said. We can build our home here. They found a spot near a clear, sparkling stream. They worked together to build a cozy house. Adrien built the walls, and Elise planted a garden with colorful flowers. As they worked, they felt happy and free. They laughed and talked, enjoying their time together. They knew they had found their new home. One evening, they sat in their garden, looking at the stars. Elise held the crystal orb and whispered, Thank you for helping us find our way. The orb glowed softly, and Elise felt a warm feeling in her heart. We did it, Adrien, Elise said. We are free and happy. Yes, we did it together, Adrien said, holding Elise's hand. I am so grateful to have you in my life. I am grateful for you too, Elise said. We are stronger together. As time passed, Elise and Adrien lived happily in their new home. They planted more flowers, grew their own food, and made many friends in the valley. One day, Adrien's uncle, the regent, heard about their new life. He felt sad and sorry for what he had done. He decided to visit them and make peace. I am sorry for everything, the regent said when he arrived. Can you forgive me? Elise and Adrien looked at each other and then at the regent. We forgive you, Adrien said, but you must promise to be kind and fair. I promise, the regent said. I will be a better person. From that day on, the regent changed. He became kind and fair, and everyone in the kingdom was happier. Elise and Adrien continued to live in their beautiful valley. They were happy and free, surrounded by friends and nature. They knew that together they could overcome any challenge, and so Elise and Adrien lived happily ever after, with love and harmony in their hearts. They had found their true home and their true happiness, together. The end. The story is aligned with the A1 level of the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, CEFR, which is the beginner level. Here are 5 phrases from the story along with their meanings and examples. 1. Regent. Meaning, a person appointed to administer a country because the monarch is a minor, absent, or incapacitated. Example from the story. From that day on, the regent changed. He became kind and fair, and everyone in the kingdom was happier. Real-life example. During the reign of young King Louis Ixiv, his mother, Anne of Austria, acted as regent of France. 2. Treasure. Meaning, a collection of valuable items, often hidden or collected with care. Example from the story. As she ran, Elise felt scared but strong. I won't let anyone take my treasures, she thought. Real-life example. Pirates often buried their treasure on remote islands to keep it safe. 3. Glow. Meaning, to shine with a soft, steady light. Example from the story. The orb glowed brightly, and the fox with eyes like emeralds appeared. Real-life example. The campfire glowed warmly in the dark night, providing light and heat. 4. Magical. Meaning, having special powers or qualities that seem to come from magic. Example from the story. We are safe now, Adrien said, thanks to you and the magical creatures. Real-life example. The fireworks display on New Year's Eve was magical, lighting up the sky in beautiful colors. 5. Forgive. Meaning, to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. Example from the story. I am sorry for everything, the regent said when he arrived. Can you forgive me? Real-life example. Even though he was hurt, he decided to forgive his friend for the misunderstanding. Here are 3 things the reader can learn from the story. 1. The power of kindness and friendship. 2. Bravery and determination. 3. Forgiveness and redemption. This story and voiceover have been provided by English Made Easy, Learn Through Stories. Copying or re-uploading is strictly prohibited.